Hey guys, this is a story about love. I made a couple of posts. I think one of my last videos was about ignorance. We can't blame people for their ignorance. We blame ourselves for ignorance. So I just got done telling my brother he bought a 98 Metro, which is, if you know, I'm sure most of you guys know what a Metro is. It's just look it up if you don't know what a Metro is. Only had 108,000 miles on it. He was just looking for a good commuter car to go back and forth to work. He's traveling like an hour and a half each way. Um, just died on him, probably fuel filter because a car with only 100,000 miles on it, it's over 30 years old, or almost 30 years old. Gas tank's going to start to go, you know, bad on you, and it's just going to clog up fuel filter. So he's probably got a flush tank, put a fuel filter in it. Anyway, I was towing him back, and I remembered a story or something that happened to me years ago that I'd like to share with you guys to give you a little bit more of a perspective on maybe this, because I think somebody maybe might need to hear this message. So that's what I'm here for. That's what we're all here for, right? Share our stories and what we've learned and how that might be applied to whatever it is that you're going through. I had an old, it was like I think it was an 83 Nissan Sentra. It was the ugliest car I've ever had. And after I bought it, it didn't handle very good. It ran good, but the transmission went out. And I was in Richland, and it was about a 15-minute drive, well, about a 20-minute drive home from where I was at. So I called my brother, and he came and picked me up off of with our grandpa's pickup. I think, back then, this is in the early 90s, maybe mid 90s. I think this was right after I left college. So this is probably like 95, 96. And this car it was in bad shape then. I mean, I'm sure that car's total by now, but uh so didn't have a pre-job. In case you guys don't know, and this is advice for all of you that are ever trying to tow a vehicle with a tow rope. The back car dictates how fast you go, and you got to have a pre-job before you leave. So you want to make sure that the back car is braking before the front car because you want to keep your tow strap tight. If you don't keep your toe strap tight, then it gets slack and then it goes like this, right? Every time you try and speed up, you're going to jam the car behind you and it's going to do damage to the transmission, the undercarriage of the front car towing it, all that stuff. So you want to make sure that that toe strap stays tight. And the only way to do that is to go slow and make sure the back car is doing all the braking. You don't want if the car in front of you starts braking too early or is doing more braking than the rear car, then you go like this and you keep going like this, and it's going to tear everything up. And all you're going to hate being towed and you're going to hate towing and all that stuff. Well, before we left, we didn't talk about any of that stuff, right? Kids were younger, and I knew a lot of that. And I assume my brother knew some of this stuff, but he didn't. And we left Richland and he just started driving a 3/4 ton Ford pickup, 460, big block, just like he's driving a regular, just driving to work, going through stoplights. I'm doing my best because I don't have power brakes, right? The car's off. I can't run it. Uh, and I can't remember if that car had power brakes anyway, but I think it did. It was some kind of a power assist. But so my brakes aren't working good enough for me to stop as well as fast as he's stopping. So every time we came to a stop, like this, bang, and we get on the highway, and he just goes 70 miles an hour. I thought I was going to die, and I mean, he came up behind a truck, hit the brakes to go past, and then so boom, all of a sudden I have to ride my brakes to try and keep that toe strap tight, but there's no way for me to do it. Toe strap gets super loose, wraps around my front left tire, my front left suspension, and it starts pulling, boom, right off of my front whole uh, shock assembly, strut assembly on the and A-arm on the front left of this car. I thought I was going over, and he was going to be pulling a corpse by the time he got to where he was going. Never slowed down, never stopped, just kept going 70 miles an hour. I was so angry. I was just like, I had my arms screaming out the window, help, help, just slow down, stop. Nothing. 70 miles an hour. the car got pulled so hard to the right when he did that, that I thought that my car was going to flip. And I thought that yeah, I thought that was it. Fortunately, that didn't happen. We made it all the way home, somehow managed to keep myself mentally together to get to the shit. And when I got out of that car, I have never been more angry at my brother. I thought, I mean, but he was completely ignorant of what he was doing. He didn't, obviously, he had no poor intention towards me, but the things that he were doing were causing me such anxiety and such grief that, I mean, I was just, ugh. So this is just a general message for anybody that needs to listen to this. The things that people do to you that are causing you harm, most of the time, 99% of the time, they're ignorant of what they are doing to you. They don't know. Could be politicians, it could be friends at work, could be your neighbors, could be family, could be anybody. And if you get upset for the things that somebody is ignorant of how that they're doing to you, then you actually, it's more of a projection of you being upset about your own ignorance. Forgiveness is unconditional love, and forgiveness is something that most people understand, but we don't ever get to that never-ending state, because if we're in that state all the times, then we're always in a state of peace, because we've finally gotten to a place where we understand that the pain and the conflicts that people cause one another are 99% unintentional. If they are intentional, they're ignorant of what they're doing to themselves. It's still done out of ignorance. And to be upset about that is in a way blaming ourselves for our own ignorance. So love you guys. Have a beautiful day. And so it doesn't matter who in your environment who you can see is maybe causing you harm. Maybe tell them the story. Send them this video. Let them know that, hey, look, I understand that, the things that you were doing to me maybe caused me a lot of pain, but, it doesn't matter. I think there's a way that we can come to a place where we're not causing each other harm anymore, and we have an equal exchange of energy, and we're supporting each other mutually. Right. Love you guys. Have a wonderful day.